Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, Dawn is unhappy because we're standing in the midst of the siege of Sundanessellar, and we're not fighting anything right now. Don't worry, Dawn, there's combat literally all around us. We're bound to stumble into some of it at some point. We're heading in this direction because we've been told that somebody we need to find is here, and I'm sure there are going to be a couple of encounters along the way, so let's go and find them, shall we? We've also been stumbling across these stone golems that keep appearing here and there, and we can safely deal with them with a single swing of Cromfeia, a never-ending source of small amounts of experience. Now, if we head over here, we find this. Terri Coleman, we are overwhelmed! Overwhelmed by skeleton warriors and one of those stone golems that's appeared. But don't worry, Corgan can take care of the stone golem, and then we can take care of the skeleton warriors. They're not a tricky fight for us, but for these elven warriors, they are a significant challenge. That's the stone golem gone. Now you're going to move over there and deal with that one, because that elven warrior is being outnumbered. Fortunately, they're no longer outmatched because we're here. And while we're here, we can grab all of this loot. And that's two gone, and that's the final one gone. Move out, men! The enemy is everywhere! I wouldn't go that way, but fortunately you're going to despawn shortly. The reason why I wouldn't go that way is because that way leads to an extremely difficult fight, and Dawn is very disappointed that that battle didn't take longer. Don't worry, Dawn, a trickier foe lies ahead. +1 two-handed sword, +1 two-handed sword, and +1 two-handed sword. Not significant loot, but we'll take it. We can't sell it anywhere here, but we'll be able to sell it somewhere eventually. Now, we want to rest, most likely, so that we can get our breach spells back, because we're going to be fighting a mage soon. Fortunately, we can rest just fine in the middle of a siege, and I'm glad for that. Okay, your stone skin is still active, which is good, and we're not taking this magical bolt because it's a magical bolt, and quite frankly, we don't need magical bolts. Let us save and move on. Up here, but not moving too quickly because there is an enemy that we can get the attention of. There you are, a Nabasu. Now the Nabasu is going to deal a little bit of damage to us and not move forward. Okay, you are not going to move. That is fine. We can deal with enemies that are not going to move forward by using our bow. Ah, now you're going to move forward. And this is how effective Terri Coleman is with that bow. The Nabasu is nearly gone, and one more swing should finish it off. Marvelous. One potion later, and we're good to go. Now the mage is over there, and if you rush into this scenario, you'll have to fight both the Nabasu and the mage at the same time. I'd much rather not do that. Much rather actually haste the party and then get ready with a breach just in case we're not fast enough in killing the wizard. There we go. Let's go and have at thee!
The best surfacer is a dead surfacer.
At last, guard duty grows tedious. Let's get down to killing you. Oh, I suppose I should be official about this. You there! All citizens must stay indoors under threat of death. The High Priestess is being punished for her part in our master's curse. You shall be slain for even thinking to approach her house. Oh, we're not the ones that are going to be slain. It's going to be you. And very quickly, too.
Nothing else to do but bother me.
Wait on you, and have you start attacking here. And you didn't even get the chance to get your improved mantle off because we got hits for 30 and 27 damage. That is the power of knowing what's coming. Oh my. Quarterstaff +1. Not really good loot at all, but again, we'll take it. And we'll take this gem too. And who took the gem? Was it you? It was you. You don't want it? You want it. Okay. There is this building here that we can go into, and we definitely want to go in there. And save before we do, because you never know what threat we're going to face. It's probably not going to be a terrible one, but it could be a nasty surprise. Let's step in. After, of course, you're invisible. We'll need you to be invisible. Let's go. Right, we have a Rakshasa, Adsan, and Raja. So, let's have you deal with this one, you deal with this one, you deal with this one, you start firing arrows here, you start slinging bullets here, and I think we'll have Edwin use a chain lightning right here. And I bet we're about to get a small amount of dialogue.
If you are not servants of the exile, then aid me against these creatures, I beg of you.
Oh, don't worry, we're already well on the way to doing that. That Rakshasa's nearly half dead. And that's one taken care of with a Vorpal Strike. And that's a second one taken care of. And that one. Ooh, a girdle.
Have you nothing else to do but bother me?
That's good treasure.
Yes.
I don't think you need to cast any more spells. I think you're safe now.
Thank you for your assistance, strangers.
Forgive me if I reward your effort with questions. How do you come to be here? Our city is not usually found by outsiders, doubly so with the exile employing his magics to hide us. It is beyond fortuitous if you stumbled here unknowing. I seek the one you call the exile. Irenicus has taken much from me. It is our folly if we think his terror would be isolated. I apologize if he pained you, for we are partially to blame for each act of evil he survives to commit. Hopefully we're now going to get a little bit of explanation as to why everyone calls him the Exile. We will seek to make reparations when this matter is done, but the Exile is firmly in control at the moment. We are at his mercy. Elhan was particularly vexing, demanding help while also refusing information. I am not so concerned with the shame of our people over Irenicus and Bodhi. What good is our silence if the city is crushed because we would not seek help? You are not an elf. It must be difficult to fathom why we are so hesitant to speak of this. Hopefully, you will come to understand. The exiles were not always as you know them now. They once had names that I would have been proud to speak, and were as worthy as any other of praise. Then they have fallen far from their lofty perch. I see no trace of worth in them now. Certainly you are entitled to your misgivings. You would not be here if you were not driven by powerful emotions, and the exile is good at provoking a reaction. He's provoked one from me, all right. I'll deliver it nice and personal on the edge of a blade. He has garnered the strongest of reactions from us, his own people, for he wronged us greater than any other. He is a criminal that knows no bounds. Yes, he was elven as we are, but no longer. Queen Elasim cast him out, for he had proven he was not elven at heart. And Bodhi? Was she involved in this too? She and he were well known in the elven court of Sundanessellar. He at least was a great asset to our kind and kin. He was the greatest of our mages, as skilled as any of elven blood could be without divine assistance. He even had the favor of the queen. It was not enough. Ah, then this is the closest I've come to understanding the fool. A cause I can respect. Of the two, the sister was the insatiable one. She was not as regarded, but she held great influence over her brother, and pulled him into her madness. Go on. Together they sought more than was possible. They wished the power of the gods, and they were not concerned about the consequences. Oh, that is a dangerous game to play in the world of the Forgotten Realms. Very dangerous indeed. He of the exiles performed a dark ritual and committed a grave offense against the greatest symbol of our longevity, the Tree of Life. He sought to merge his essence with the divine tree, draining it and stealing its energy. He failed, but there was a price to pay for the rest of us. He disrupted the elven connection to land and nature. There was a great shock that ran through Sundanessellar, and many of our weaker citizens lay near death. That he would endanger so many for he and his sister's selfish goals was one thing, but to threaten the very nature of what makes us who we are was unfathomable. Then why was he not killed outright? It would have saved a lot of trouble. It fell to Elhan to judge the crime, and she was harsh. Having forsaken everything elven, they would be outcasts so they might learn how precious our ways are. Well, you did not kill him, that much is certain. What waste of time did you impose? Of spiritually high regard, Elhan petitioned the gods, and a divine curse was placed upon the exiles. All their communication to the elven spirit was severed. Elhan thought it a punishment worse than death, a life no longer than a human's, and their elven spirits banished from the paradise all elven kind are entitled to. The sister exposed herself to vampirism to try and counteract the divine curse, but gods are not routed so easily. The brother did not risk the same. A better man would have learned to appreciate what he had lost, perhaps learning humility and seek to make amends. He did not prove to be a better man. Wow, what was your first clue, genius? We had hoped this would turn out better. The exile has found a way to restore himself, has made pacts with our most despised enemies, and has resumed his original plot. Yeah, he restored himself all right, by stealing my divine soul. I have no way to accurately measure the cost of our decisions on you. Reparations will be made, if there is anyone left here to make them. I'm still in shock that this has happened. So much of Sundanessellar's defenses were away, battling the drow in their incursion at the temple. We were left weak. One group of exiles helping another, both so full of their petty hatred and jealousy that they would stop at nothing to strike at our hearts. The exile brought to the city magical constructs and demons and a black dragon, which landed to the northwest. I have been trying to fight, but there are too many. Elhan spoke of Elhan and how she might be able to help. The exiles have seeded the streets with his minions and taken Elhan into the palace. I have made an attempt to enter, but it is sealed tight. Whether you search for the queen or seek the exile for reasons of your own, you will have to get into the palace and also deal with the monsters in the streets. And I believe there is a way to do both at the same time, though it will not be easy. No, we have seen to it that it will not be easy. Bah! We've no time to run around your city concerning ourselves with your moronic people. Let them save themselves. We are here for the wizard. I obviously do not have the strength myself to complete the task. I think perhaps you do. If I tell you what is to be done, will you do it? I will. How can the creatures be stopped? The temple is dedicated to Rilifane Ralathil. He can summon the spirit defenders of the forest to protect us, and has the power to break the seal on the palace. But the Leaf Lord must be awakened, his avatar summoned, in order for the spirits to come. The exile's creatures have desecrated the temple and stolen the artifacts I need. The artifacts are lost in the city, held by the exile's minions, perhaps even the black dragon in the northwest. There are 3. A talisman of Rilifane, a golden cup, and a moonblade. We already have one of those. The other 2 we don't have yet, though this one is quite easy to find. Go into the temple, which will most likely be guarded, and place the items on the statue in the center. This will summon the avatar to our defense. Are you certain this is the solution? I believe so, stranger. I cannot be sure, but only Rilifane has the power. Go, please. The longer you wait, the more elves will suffer. Quickly. Oh, we'll be going, don't worry. We've been given the quest that we need to do to get access to the palace.
What would you
But
have
before we go and check out that dragon and all the other places we need to go, there are things that we can loot here. There's this, and a few mundane longswords that we're not even going to consider taking. Here is some magical ammunition. Do we want any of it? We
Yes,
want
Mark.
the
Yes, I see.
sling bullets, that's for sure.
You are is that
Yes.
what you want?
We need to move you
One.
away, and then move Hex out away. We'll take these. I believe these are bullets +2. You can have them, and these are darts of stunning. You can hold on to them. As for this, ooh, a girdle of stone giant strength. As a young boy, Stuart Eltil was kidnapped by raiding kobolds after his family was slain. However, en route to their den, the kobolds surprised a family of stone giants. These giants rescued Stuart and raised him as their own. It soon became apparent that the boy, no matter how hard he tried, could not compete in the family rock-throwing contests. The stone giant father bartered with a local wizard for this girdle, which made Stuart as strong as his brothers and sisters. When Stuart met an untimely end, the girdle was stolen away. Equipped abilities, Strength 20. Now that is something that we are going to be giving to you, because this will give you a far greater strength and will put you on par with Vaconia and Terri. Not Corgan. Nobody's ever going to be on par with Corgan. Now, this is a really good girdle, and it's a lot better than this one, so we're going to be swapping this around and giving this to you. And this can go away in there.
What would you have me do?
As for other things we can get, there is something here. Ooh, absolute immunity. Now that is something of significance. It is a very mighty spell. I believe that is a level 9 spell, if I'm not mistaken. That it is. When the spell is cast, it confers complete invulnerability to all weapons except for those of greater than +5 enchantment. This spell is incredibly powerful, hence the short duration. 4 rounds. However, the casting time is also very short, making this spell incredibly useful in the thick of combat, where buying a few seconds can mean the difference between life and death. It is important to note that this spell does not work in combination with protection from magical weapons. This spell lasts for the duration, or until dispelled. We are definitely going to save before we use this, because this is a mighty treasure indeed. Can you learn it? Yes, you can. Excellent. Now that we've done that, let us leave and go look for those other things. We have, only 5 of the party here. We've left Vaconia in the temple. Let us get Vaconia out of the temple and quickly pop over here and find that there is nothing here at all. Now if we go this way, we're going to get to this place, and we do need to go there eventually. We can also go to the House of the Moon too. Let's actually go this way and see if we can find another stone golem. We probably will. They're scattered all over the place. And there's also probably going to be another dangerous encounter, because there's always going to be dangerous encounters on the streets of Sundanessellar, such is the nature of a siege. Ooh, this one is tricky. Iron golem, sand golem. Right, you go after that golem, you go after that golem, you go after this golem. I wish you luck, but I don't think you're going to survive. Let's have you back up here. We're dealing with this iron golem pretty quickly, and ooh, there is another golem for Corgan to take care of. Don't worry, we've got this one. And there we go.
Monsters! There are monsters everywhere in Sundanessellar!
Blast these golems! May the Protector spear the exile's soul for what he has done here today! And blast us too for sending so much to fight the drow and leaving golden Sundanessellar unprotected! A question of you, stranger. I thought the exile had hidden us. How do you come to be here? Let's get these people out of here. They're quite badly hurt. I don't think they'll last much longer. I came with Elhan, who is at the gates evacuating the city. Elhan is at the gates? Then that is where we must go. Thank you, stranger. I pray that you are here to help our city in its darkest hour. Would that I could end the exile's life myself. If you do anything here today, I pray you find the exile and give the corrupted fool what he truly deserves. Death and an eternity in the abyss. Oh, don't worry. We're probably going to do that. Oh, you actually all lived. Wow. Also, that is not the way out. The way out is down here. Oh, never mind. You despawned anyway. And so, folks, when we come back, we could go into this building, or we could go and face that dragon. And you know what? I feel like slaying a dragon. Don't you? And so, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.